Since its inception in 2002, the Timeless Material Company has operated in the true spirit of salvage. While reclaiming and repurposing wood and other building products from historic and iconic local structures, the Waterloo family business has simultaneously diverted tons of quality material from the landfill. Working with its sister company, Kieswetter Demolition, the Timeless Material Company promotes and facilitates a modern afterlife for the resilient building components of our past.
We feel we owe it to the material, we feel we owe it to those buildings. They don't make it the way they used to, they're not going to start doing it that way again, so there's a finite amount of it. We have to treat it with respect and make sure that we're not just throwing things away. We have a responsibility to the material. It's been around a lot longer than any of us, so it deserves it. The business was sort of born out of like selling materials off of the job site, but that's when the company said, let's double down on this. We'll make Timeless Materials a full-on retail company. And so that idea coincided with this property and us being able to bring a lot of life back to this 1870s barn and farmhouse and all the sort of buildings around here. The Timeless Material Company is a sister company of Kieswetter Demolition. So we have the same ownership and we work it's a close partnership. So all the material that they reclaim from a job site, the building gets dismantled with the full intention that we're going to save as much as we can for resale here or to incorporate into new projects here. So they're not like a typical demolition company. Their focus from the moment they arrive on the site is, let's take this apart carefully. It's sort of like a sympathetic deconstruction of a building versus a demolition. We're probably unique that way, certainly at the scale. I think it's not uncommon for like certain demolition companies to maybe see some value in something and they'll sell something off the job site if they can. But in terms of it being our primary focus, I think we're pretty unique in that way. And we've been at it so long that it's a pretty well-oiled machine in terms of getting the most yield out of material. It's not uncommon for people to be relieved to see Kieswetter Demolition is doing the dismantling because they know, oh, okay, this material is going to have another purpose after. So this is a table we made from a door that was reclaimed from the Electro-Home factory that was on Shanley Street in Kitchener. That's like a recent demolition project for us. It yielded a ton of really cool material that we've used for all sorts of things, but there weren't too many just like salvage items inside, but there were a few doors, and this one was just like really incredible looking. The texture is great, solid wood door. So so we made that into a table. On some of the boards, there's this like ghosting from like the old lath and plaster like walls. So these would have been like studs in the wall, and you can just kind of see the space where there was old like laths across and the plaster and all the nail holes. These pieces are from the St. Jacob's Farmers Market that burnt down in 2013. We dismantled that building and reclaimed all the timber. It's all good, solid Douglas fir. Some of them were glulam, some of them were solid timbers. And you can see they're all like genuinely charred all the way around, but on the inside it's really, really good material. And so we've been selling a lot of these as like mantles and different things. And it's just sort of people taking home a little piece of that building, a little piece of that local history. I just became really captivated by the business, really captivated by the process. Like everybody here, I'm extremely passionate about diverting all the material from the landfill and then finding a new use for it. You see something up close, you go like, oh, I didn't realize. Like, I saw it look like this. I didn't realize the backside looked amazing. Had this awesome texture. I want to use it for tables or something like that. Sometimes you have to just kind of touch and like feel a board to really know its value. This is the main entranceway for a house that stood on the property for the P&H Milling company in Cambridge, in Preston. And that company's still there, but there was an old beautiful house that was standing there. It had to be dismantled, so all that stuff came here. So the masonry, there's beautiful columns in the front, and this really like ornate front entranceway along with the two windows, leaded glass. It's really quite cool. So again, like a lot of people come through here all the time, like, oh, I used to drive past that every day, or they used to work there or something. It's kind of neat to walk through here and see all those little landmarks from Cambridge, Waterloo, Kitchener. This is like a great example of, again, like trying to keep the story along with the story of the building along with the piece. So this is from the old Globe Furniture factory that was in Waterloo for a very long time. And the cool thing about this is all the like carving that you see throughout the whole thing. It's a crazy amount of work that people don't tend to do anymore. This property has now become so much of who we are as a business that this barn sort of just speaks to what we're all about. Meaning like, the barn is still good, let's use the barn. The wood is still good, let's use the wood. We don't need to throw anything away. If we take care of our stuff, it'll be here for a long time.